Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm playing Shifters, an upcoming solo and two-player co-op game with card management, battling, upgrading, and as always, no disclaimer needed for our crowdfunding coverage. We don't accept money from publishers or anything, we just want to help you make an informed decision. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos every month you can't see anywhere else. You can also listen to our podcast for reviews and design discussions, or join the conversation and say hi on our Discord. So the basic plot of Shifters is that we've discovered this crystalline energy source that's kind of revolutionizing everything in the world, but there are also these portals opening up, and there's like this evil tyrant in the Omega world through some of the portals. So we got to kind of do, what would you call it, a Stargate-ish kind of thing, and work through these 5 worlds, starting with the Aquatic World. And if you can get all the way to the Omega world, where the tyrant lives, and defeat them, then you win the overall campaign. And they sent me for the prototype 2 full worlds out of 5. And I'm going to play through both of them because the first world, the Aquatic World, is pretty much a tutorial. It's very straightforward and easy. The next world is quite a bit tougher. And this is a 1 to 2 player game. I'm going to show you the 1 player play. It's not too different for 2 players, except that you each have your own board and the enemies have twice as much life, but you're not like directly helping each other out. You're just kind of combining your resources to defeat things. But let's jump right in and I'll explain how things go. This is, by the way, a very quick game to set up. You have to shuffle like 3 small decks of cards. Or actually, I think it's only 2 decks. You put out the board, you put your little token here to show where you are, and you're pretty much good to go. It takes like maybe a minute to set up. All right, so each world has its own little special thing to set up. This one says a player chooses 1 Aquatic World card and places it in their hand. If it's a character card, or in their artifact zone, if it's an artifact card, you'll see what that means in a second. And then each player randomly draws 1 person to place in their charging area, except an exclamation point. So let me show you this. So these are the 3 cards that come with the Aquatic World. You can see that has a little Aquatic World symbol there. So I can get a miner or a blocker, and you'll see what these all mean, but basically this guy's going to give me a bunch of defense, but will also attack eventually and get me some energy. This guy's going to get me attack and energy, and then eventually get me attack and defense. And then the artifact is a Drum of War, and it lets me remove a character card from the game to cancel all damage for a turn. Well, as you're going to see, I'm more of a attack-focused person. The shields are not going to help me as much. So I'm going to pick this miner and add it to my hand. And to show you my starting deck, although it's really a hand, you don't like shuffle these cards and then draw them. You just have them all available. So it says letter A here. There's a letter A and a letter B deck. Each one has 6 cards in it. Letter A is focused much more on damage dealing. Letter B is more focused on defense and then turning that defense into offense. But yeah, so I'm just going for the punchy kind of basic deck here. So I've got 6 starting cards. You always start each scenario with these, although they will eventually upgrade to starred versions of the same cards. You'll see that at the end of the Aquatic World. Plus, I've got the miner I just got. And now I'm going to shuffle these up and randomly put one of them, my scientist, in this little area over here. This is basically your like discard pile. You're going to be playing cards onto these little spots, and then they'll be shifting to the right, hence the name Shifters. But then 1 card to start in your deck, the one that they mentioned that has the exclamation point here. This card, the Veteran, whenever it shifts off your board, you're going to get all your cards back. So you're kind of slowly running out of cards and then retrieving them all. By the way, I forgot to put in my little slots here. So you've got these 4 types of tokens: damage dealing, energy generation, healing, and defense generation. And they get slotted into these spots. And as you'll see once I actually get into combat, what's going to happen is you'll play your characters down into these slots. And then when they advance, because at the beginning of each round, they advance 1 slot to the right, every token that's locked into that slot, like above that slot, that matches up with an icon on the card is going to generate that effect. So like here, if she advanced from here to here and she has heart generation and I had a heart token here, I would gain 1 health. Oh, that's not gaining. I would gain 1 health. Okay, so that's like the basics of kind of how the game goes. Now, at the start of each scenario, you get to pick 3 of these. I'm not going to use the defense one because deck A has pretty much no defense generation. And they have to be 3 different ones, so I couldn't get like 3 attack. And let's maybe go with attack last, then energy, then healing for now. Sure, we'll see how that goes. But some characters in your deck, like the scientist that got discarded, are going to let you add more tokens so that you can get more explosive use out of your characters as the game goes. Okay, but that's it for setup. Oh, whoops. I should have 1 energy here. So yeah, this is your energy, which you're going to spend to get certain bonuses. You can also spend it to do energy damage to enemies, so it's also an attack resource. If it goes one to the left of this leftmost slot to the skull, then you lose. And same thing for your health. If that goes to the left of where the skull is, then you lose the game. But we're going to be moving on this little board. And how it works is you have to always follow the arrows and basically progress to the right. So like here, I'm going to have to get into a fight. Here, I'm going to get what's called reinforcement cards. Here, they'll have a choice to go to 2 enemies there or there, which will send me down a different track of bonuses. Eventually, I'm going to get to this boss. If I can defeat them, I get a permanent upgrade to my deck. I get what's called an Academy card to permanently upgrade the reinforcements I can draw from to make my deck stronger. And then I go to the next world. So that's the basic idea here. All right, but let's go into combat and just show you how all that works, kind of the core ideas of the game. So this is the combat track for enemies. Over here is the boss. He's got his own action deck and then like his identifier card. We're not worried about that yet. But when you get into a combat, you draw as many cards as the number of skull icons. This was just 1. And we got an Octobot. So it's keyed to the world. Here's its defense or its life statistics. This one's got 4 health and 0 energy. Remember, energy is both like a resource you're going to be spending, but also something you're attacking with. And here's its attack stats. So it's going to hit me each round for 1 and 0. So hitting my health and my energy. This is the bonus I get when I defeat them. So it's going to let me add another healing thing to my track. And this is the slot that it goes into. So this one's going to start on slot 3, which means basically I have 3 turns to kill it before it escapes. Or if I was going with a more defensive build, then I might want to let it escape and just survive. Well, this one says when Octobot arrives at slot 1, bring 1 additional enemy into play. So really, ideally, I want to kill this guy before he gets to slot 1. But we put him there, and now we come over to our board. And on each of my turns, I can play up to 3 cards into any of my slots here, and then they're going to move 1 to the right. So you really want to play them like to the left of where you want them to be. And each card, as I already mentioned, has 1 or more icons at the top that are going to be triggered if they match tokens. So like if I put the miner right here, and then he would advance, crystal matches crystal, so we would gain 1 energy. If instead I put him here when he advanced, then damage matches damage. He would deal 1 damage to the enemy, 1 out of 4. The veteran's question mark is a wild, so anything it goes to the top of, well, I can only pick 1 of them if there's more than 1, but that does damage. But then additionally, these bottom icons are used when it goes off the board entirely and is about to be discarded. Now, if only 1 card does that in a round, you just get the bonus. So here I'd get 1 defense, which can cancel 1 of either damage type, energy damage or health damage being dealt. And I'd get 1 attack. But if more than 1 card falls off at the same time, you only get to resolve 1 of their bottom abilities. So while it is good to like chain a bunch of cards together to get a lot of these bonuses, it means that you're going to be having choices when they actually fall off the board. Now, the veteran's bottom ability, as I mentioned, is what actually gets you all the cards in this area back to your hand so you can use them again. And the exclamation point means you must resolve his ability instead of anybody else's. So like if all 3 of them fell off, I couldn't use the doc for healing or the miner for attacking and defense. I would have to use the veteran and get all my cards back. And that's pretty much it. Now, let's see. How can I actually kill this guy? I want to kind of fast track murdering him, which I think means, if I don't mind having like no defense or no attack possibilities for later, if I do the soldier here and let's go with the recruiter here. So when she falls off, that'll be 2 damage. Recruiter will get me 3. Well, I actually want some energy too, so maybe I'm going to let him survive for a round. I'm going to put the miner here. Now, I could put as many as I want in the same slot. There is no limit to the number of cards in a slot. But okay, so I've done my max of 3 cards. Then they all slide to the right, and then I resolve their icons. So I get 1 damage to apply from this guy. I get 1 crystal from them. And after I've done all of these, I only have 1 card here. She's giving me 2 more damage. And then she goes to the discard. And I'm going to apply all 3 damage to the Octobot, which leaves him with 1 left. And that's it for my turn. Now for his turn, he advances 1, and then he's dealing 1 damage to me. I have no shields to block with, so there we go. All right, and now we do it again until he's run away or until he's dead. Now the miner is already going to finish him off. This guy's going to get me some energy. Let's maybe heal a bit, and then I could use the recruiter, or I could put the veteran here if I wanted to get a bunch of cards. Yeah, actually, let's put the veteran here and forget about the recruiter's ability. Okay, and I mean, do I want to play a third card? This one's nice when she falls off. Generate as much damage as other cards you have in your effect and battery zone, 3 maximum. So like when you've used a bunch of cards, she's really good. So sure, maybe I'll just start getting her going. I don't have to play 3 cards. You could play 0 cards even, but I kind of want to. All right, so they're falling off. He's going there. They're going here. So 2 healing for me. 1 damage. Should be enough to kill that guy in a second. And then I unfortunately can't resolve his ability. I have to use the recruiter, but now I've got 4 cards back in my hand. I get everybody from both these areas. All right, and then I do the last damage. So the Octobot is defeated and never gets to bring in his friend or hit me again. And I get to level up with more healing. Now, where do I want to put this? So if I put it here, then it maxes a multiplier. So like each of these people would come in and give me 2 healing instead of 1, which might be a good thing to do. I don't think I want it here because I'd kind of like to get more attack options. Or I could go here, although then you really have to play the long game when you're putting cards down. Let's do the double up. I kind of like that. All right, now, by the way, all of these cards stay where they are waiting for the next combat. All of these cards in my hand stay where they are. So like the combat stops immediately, but nothing gets moved automatically or refreshed automatically. You got to kind of play a longer game, like I said, and like tactically think about where you want your cards to be for even the next fight you're not aware of. All right, now I go to what's called a reinforcement spot. This is one of the most common ones. You have this reinforcement deck, which starts with 12 cards, but you're going to be adapting this as the campaign goes along, because after each scenario, you take basically all of the cool cards you unlocked. For example, my miner from Aquatic World. They all get added to the reinforcement deck, and then I cull it down to 12 cards again. So it's always going to start each scenario with 12 cards, but those 12 cards will theoretically be improving and getting cooler as we go. But whenever we go to a spot like this, then we get to draw 3 of the reinforcements, and we can add 1 to our hand for free. If we spend one of the energy, one of the crystal resource, we can add 2 instead. So let's see what we got. Quartermaster, pretty dang good. She's got another damage dealer, and whenever she falls off, she gives me 1 of anything. Energy, defense, attack. Radio operator is another healer. Lets you advance 1 card from your active zone and trigger its resource generation or camp effect. Resource generation, camp effect, so you get to kind of like fast track a card. And then Nurse is another healing one that gets you healing, or, I mean, that's kind of overkill for healing. You know what? I'm going to get a Quartermaster and the Radio Operator, spending 1 of my crystals, 1 of my energies, since I got an extra 1 recently. So this last guy goes to the bottom of the deck. I probably won't see him again in this scenario. And these cards get immediately added to my hand. So now I got tons of options, and I'm going to run out of cards and need to use the veteran much less quickly. Okay, now I got to decide which way to go. So either way, I'm going to fight 2 and then get more reinforcements. This one would cause 2 damage, and this one would force me to take 2 characters and put them in my battery area, so kind of like remove them from my hand temporarily. Okay, and then this one's going to be 1 fight. That one's going to be 2. And then this one goes to an Academy card, which is a stronger card generally than the reinforcements and also can permanently boost my reinforcement deck. This one would also let me go to an Academy. Or if I go here, I can go Academy, and then I lose 1 of the tokens from my track. Another double fight, but I would get a second one of the aquatic cards, although I didn't love the other ones, right? Like, again, the blocker is not really how my deck is going. I mean, Drum of War is pretty dang good, like to prevent some crazy attack. And how artifacts work is they just like sit out by your play area, and you can tap them, use them once per battle. So they don't even like fill up your deck or anything. And whereas these kind of cards will go into the reinforcement deck and you have to recruit them again in each scenario, artifacts are just like a permanent upgrade. So maybe I could go for the artifact. So to do that, well, I guess either way would let me get the artifact. This would just also let me get Academy and artifact, but it'd be a little bit tougher. So sure, let's go down here and fight 2 enemies. So nothing too different when you have 2 enemies at once, except that you can split your damage however you want, and they are each moving along, doing their thing. Okay, so this is a Laser Dolphin. Now he starts on 1, and when he flees, we lose 1 energy. So we have to either kill him or just defend against him. He's got 2 hearts and 1 energy. Remember, you got to spend energy to deal energy damage generally. And these symbols I didn't say are per player. So if we were playing with 2 players, he'd have 4 and 2. And he hits us for 2. And he gets us another healing thing if we defeat him. Okay. And then we got Medusa. Another 4-0. By the way, some of them have shields. We just haven't seen them yet. She heals us when we defeat her. She's hitting us not too hard. When Medusa flees, lose 2 energy. I mean, we got tons of time for her. we got to decide if we can and want to kill the dolphin right off the bat. All right, so this guy's about to fall off, so that's going to get us an attack and a defense. So we would need one more attack to kill the dolphin, but then ideally we would get some energy generation too. So sure, let's get the scientist going there, and maybe get the recruiter there. And then I don't know, do I want to add like the veteran somewhere? Maybe here? Oh, that might be a little bit too slow. Well, let's try it out. All right, so boom, 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 boom. Again, 2 healing, because we can pick any one type of icon for his question mark. We're getting 1 energy. We're dealing 2 damage and getting 1 shield. And then I'm going to spend 1 energy to get an energy damage, which you can see is blue. All right, so we got this. And let's keep things simple. 2 and 1 to kill him. And then we'll block the 1 damage coming from that guy. So he just slides down, nice and easy, but I got to do 4 damage in the next 2 turns or take a ton of energy damage and actually die at this point because I don't have enough energy if that happened. Yeah, actually, how much damage am I going to cause here? Oh, she would let me do 3 damage all by herself if I just tank a damage for a turn, which I can easily do. So yeah, that being the case, let's just play nothing. I think we're fine. So this guy falls off. They go here, they go here. We get 1 energy. We get nothing. We get another energy, and then we get to draw 2 from the reinforcement deck and add 1 to your hand and discard the other. Have both defenders, not really what I wanted. Cancel the regular or energy attack of a card this turn. That's pretty good. Generate +2 if at least 1 ally is also present in the effect zone. So, I mean, they're both just defensive people. Yeah, I don't love either of these, but I guess I'll take the support. Those are the kind of cards that I'll probably be culling out of the deck when I add more stuff in. Okay, so that was it. Then the enemy hits me for 1 before they move to the last slot. Means I got to do 4 damage this turn, but that's going to be pretty easy because... Boop. Oh, wait, do I want to add anything? I mean, I don't need to. No, I think it's fine. All right, so all 3 of them fall off. They go here, so that's getting me 1 damage. And even though I would love to activate the scientist to get her cool, like, level up bonus, I'm going to activate the second in command, generate as much damage as other cards you have in your effect and battery zones, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, but it says max 3. So we're damaging 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and killing them straight up. So I heal. Oh, and I forgot that I get another healing slot. Definitely going to shove this one over here because I got way too much healing at the moment. All right, well, that went fine. Let's go to the next upgrade. And there's another draw 3, keep 1. Ooh, I love this one. The instructor gives me a non-mandatory way to get all my cards back and does attack. Let's definitely get him. Another radio operator or a strategist. I don't care about the shield, but being able to put down a new bonus token is pretty dang good. So sure, we got a lot of energy. Let's spend 1 to get both of those. By the way, in 2-player, only one of us would get a card, and then if we spent the energy, we could split the cards or whatever. So you're not like getting more upgrade. You're just kind of dividing up the same upgrades you would get in 2-player. All right, now I gotta exhaust 2 of my characters. Let's see both my shield people that aren't really going to help me in the immediate term. Then I got to fight another enemy. Who we got? It is Will.1. I seem to have forgotten his name here, but it says it here. When he flees, lose 2. He starts on 3, though. Now he's got 1 energy and 3 life. And oh, he's doing energy damage. I don't like that because I don't have a good way to do shields. So the only way I can block it is by generating more energy. And clearly I have way less energy than hearts. So let's try to kill this guy quickly. And hey, we can just go a little ham. Boom, boom, boom. It's going to kill everybody. So yeah, that'll generate 3 damage. I'm getting all these back from the veteran. Then he did have 1 energy as well. So I got to do that. All right. Oh, no, they're still there. So that kills him. And when it's just a single card icon like that, I just get the top card of the reinforcement deck. I don't get to pick or whatever. A nurse. I mean, that's fine. I'm not going to actually use all of these cards, but it's cool to have options. All right, so now I got to decide, do I want the Academy card, which is going to make my reinforcement deck better, or do I want to fight an extra double fight, which I'm sure will go fine, to get that drum? Let's get for the Academy card. So here you also draw 3. Now, there's a mix of characters and artifacts, as you can see. And you can't pay extra, you just get 1. And it goes to your hand like the regular cards, but these are also ones you can add to the reinforcement deck to permanently make them better. So let's see what we got. Sniper, I'm liking the sound of that. A hit, 2 hits. The shield of an enemy are reduced by 2 per energy spent for this effect. So I guess I can spend energy. That's cool. Okay, a calm, this would be an artifact. Move one card from your active zone one space forward or backward. This cannot come from or go to the energy zone. Okay. So I can like double use somebody. That's pretty cool. And then, whoa, Surgeon, you're healing a lot. I mean, the comm would just be a permanent upgrade. I wouldn't even have to like get it again, whereas the sniper would just go into the reinforcement deck. But the sniper is like so much cooler. I'm going to go for the sniper. All right, and gosh, then I get to go to some more cards. I'm pretty low on energy, so I'm not going to pay for an extra one. Another quartermaster. What are you? Arms dealer. So you do one, and then you can generate. Well, I mean, that's really expensive to pay energy just to get a little bit of extra attack. Microbiologist. Draw from reinforcement deck. You can add to your hand or discard it to gain 2 energy is actually the nicest part. But I'll just go for the quartermaster. Nice and easy. All right, and then I face the boss. Let's show you how this works. Here we can get rid of the discard pile. So the boss has their own stats. So they've got 6 life and 1 energy, but they've got 1 shield for each. And those are applied each turn. So in a given round, if I wanted to like one-shot him with energy, I'd have to do 2 energy. The first would be canceled. All right, and then he's got his own action deck. I'm going to shuffle it up, put 1 card on 1, 1 card on 2, 1 card on 3. And different bosses will resolve a different number of cards. This one's only doing the first card, the rightmost card each round. So I know he's going to do this turn, and then I can see what's coming. And I'll just add more cards and reshuffle as needed. Now, this one's annoying. So this turn he's going to do 1 energy damage on his activation, but he has an ongoing effect this turn that I can't hit him. So I guess that's not too bad. I didn't play a ton of people that are about to deal damage, but I don't want to set up anybody for dealing damage this turn. I want to kind of block if possible. But what are they going to do when they fall off? The quartermaster can give me 1 of anything. The soldier can do 2 damage. That's not going to help at all. Or I can just get all 3 cards back. Well, let's see. What if I got my sniper ready to fall off next turn and do 2 damage? And I could get my quartermaster ready to actually shoot. That's 2. And then my miner could get me some more energy. That's 3. That all seems good. All right, so they fall off. He goes here and generates a damage, which I can't use, and he generates an energy. And I'm going to go ahead and use her ability to get another energy. I think I like that option best, because then the enemy is hitting me for 1 energy with their card. That's this right here. Okay, and then that one's discarded. And, oh my gosh, they're hitting me for 2 more energy, and then I can't target them again the following turn. That's annoying. Okay, but I'm going to hit him pretty hard this turn. I want some energy generation, so let's get the scientist here. Maybe my veteran too. I can start getting him moving up. That'll give me 2 energy. And then for my last one, what the hell? Let's get the recruiter down and just try to smack him even harder. Okay, so we're doing 2 damage, and I can spend energy to cancel his armor if I want. He's got 1 armor. And then that's 5 damage and 2 energy. I don't think I'm going to spend the energy to cancel the armor, so I'll just do 4 damage through. Now, let's see. He's going to attack me for 2 energy. Can I afford to also hit him for 2 energy? That'd be 4. Yeah, I can, because my energy is at max. So I'm going to spend 2 energy to do 2 energy damage, 1 being blocked by his armor, so we got that. And then his card is hitting me for 2 more, so I am right on the cusp of defeat, but not there yet. What am I about to do? Okay, I can do damage and defense. It's probably the best option. And then that's going to do another damage, so that'll get me 2. But I need 4 to kill him. Oh, and whoops, I cannot target him this turn again. But at least he's only doing regular damage. So, yeah. If I can just tank this turn, I can easily smash him next turn. Do I even have anybody left who can attack? Not really. Yes, I don't really need any of these, do I? I don't know. Hey, nurse, be ready to heal me later. And sure, Doc, you do it too. And then, I don't know. Maybe get this girl who eventually shoots a lot to be there. Yeah, it was not going to be a great turn in general. Whoops. All right, so what am I getting? Question mark is damage, but we can't hit him. I'm healing too, but there's no healing to be done. So I think I'm just going to use her to get an energy. I don't know. I think that's all I really need. And then he's hitting me for 2. But now I can actually hit him. Yay. I think they did say, by the way, that for the final version of the game, they're going to take out one of the 2 can't be targeted this turn things, because they found 2/5 of the time is a little bit too frequent and annoying. All right, so I can actually hurt him this turn. Do I have the ability to do so? I don't think I do, unfortunately. So let's just, I don't know, put a bunch of cards with the second in command to trigger her ability to be stronger. Okay, veterans go in there and getting all my cards back. They're doing a whole lot of nothing. They're healing me back to full. And yeah, it was not much of a turn. And then their little bitey card is doing 2 to me. And this next card's about to do 3, but I'm not worried about that, because they're definitely going to be dead. Because the second in command is going to do 3 damage by herself. And then, well, let's just go ham, right? Bow, bow, bow. That'll work. So 3 damage from her, 6 more. You're dead. And he does not have any inherent bonus for beating us, but we're about to go to some special action spaces that will reward us for defeating him. So first we go here, and we get to upgrade one of our cards permanently. And we're going to be back to our just 6 starting cards in a moment. So let's see. Ooh, the soldier is crazy. Or the recruiter, when they fall off, would get us a shield and an attack. Yeah, I like double attack. That's great. So I permanently get rid of the original soldier, and we have the star one for the rest of the campaign. And then I get another academy card. Ooh, and this time it's 2... I'm definitely not getting a character this time. Let's get an artifact. So once per scenario getting 3 defense, or once per scenario getting more attack. I actually want the defense one, because at some point I'm probably going to get smacked and not be able to deal with it. So again, once per scenario, I can tap that, and it just always starts with me. I never have to like draw it or build it into my deck or anything. Cool, and that's the end of the scenario. So I'm going to take out everything that's not a special A card. So I'm back to my original 6 buddies with the soldier upgraded, plus my shield. I keep that. And then I take all these other cards and they go back to the reinforcement deck. But note that I've got 2 new cards that are going in the reinforcement deck. 1 from the academy deck, my sniper, and the miner from the aquatic deck. So I've got to cull out any 2 cards to bring it back down to 12. And yeah, I'm just going to like fully eschew defense and get rid of the support and guardian characters. All right. And my statistics also reset, and I get to do 3. I could change which ones they are or where they are, but I get to redo this stuff as well. You know, maybe I feel like having attack that early kind of was not great. Let's try it like this, maybe. Because I already have characters that I can put here and will immediately attack, so that gives me maybe a little bit more flexibility. I don't know. But that's it. Let's go on to Rat World. All right, so we've got our new stuff. We got to shuffle the new enemies, set up the new boss, and then resolve the world special stuff. And this time we're going against Herbert West, Reanimator, if y'all know that reference. Cool. So yeah, his big thing is that he's going to be building up energy on himself. You'll see that in a moment, and then using it in the fight. So a player chooses 1 rat card to place in their hand or in their artifact area. We have more options this time. Well, we've got a bunch of artifacts. So we've got a med kit. Lets us generate 1 heart and 1 energy. The mobile block gives us 1 heart for every energy we spend. That seems kind of weird. This one lets us take a card back from our board. Interesting. And this one, this is a character, lets you ready one of your exhausted artifacts when he falls off. Well, that's kind of cool. But yeah, I think the med kit seems like the best to me, combined with my shield. That should be pretty nice and defensive. Now, I'm noticing this has a like little reuse button. This one doesn't. I don't think the shield is single use. I think all artifacts get refreshed when you start a new scenario. But hey, prototypes, I'm not sure. All right, so that's it for that. We each place a random person in our battery again. And, oh, Doc, that's fine. And then this one's annoying. We take a plague card and place it at the start of our active zone on the leftmost slot. Or sorry, pest. So this card advances each turn like a character card, but can never leave your board. To repulse it to the beginning of your active zone, activate a character or artifact that generates 1 or more heart without healing yourself. When this card reaches the battery phase, and then every turn it stays there, lose 2 heart and 1 energy. So we've got these rats and their diseases just messing with us. So heart generation. Heart generation was not too hard for me last time, so I'm not too worried about it. When a game effect tells you that plague progresses, advance it 1 step to the right. If you choose the plague minus in an ambush location, like that, or you have a choice here, advance it. It's considered to progress if it is anywhere other than the beginning of your active zone. I'm guessing some cards will check on that. Okay, so that's about it. So we're going to be fighting new enemies and stuff. Let's go ahead and see them. All right, experience. Experience? Did he mean experiment? I don't know. So he's got 3 life and 2 energy. What the heck? He's doing attack. He does heal us, which could push back the pest, I think, right? No, it has to be a person or artifact that generates healing. This guy prevents you from repulsing that. When it flees, and I've only got 2 rounds, discard 2 characters in your battery area? I don't know what that means. Like discard, like remove from the game. Hey, still a prototype, still figuring out translation and stuff. But hey, if we just kill him, then we don't have to worry about his whole effect. All right, so I gotta do 3 damage and 2 energy. The energy is the more annoying part. So let's get her going to get the energy, and then maybe just my upgraded soldier to kill straight up. And then for the third thing, sure, we can get the veteran getting ready to go. All right, so she falls off. That's getting me a health. That's getting me an energy, but then I'm going to spend 2 energy and all 3 of her attack to kill the guy. Oh, and sorry, this moves as well, of course. I could use his health generation to push it back, but let's let it build up a little bit more than that. Oh, and right, I can't push it back while this guy's alive anyway. All right, so he's dead, and I heal too. Easy peasy. All right, next I go to the upgrade deck. My slightly improved upgrade deck. I don't have any extra energy to buy with. Nurse. Might be good to have another heart generator. Although between second in command and doc, I've already got it. No instructor to get my cards. Yeah, let's go for the instructor again. All right, so now what do I have to do? So this would put 2 energy on the boss, which is going to make him harder. But this would be fighting 2 guys. But yeah, I really I don't want to make the boss. Okay, let's go ahead and fight 2 people. All right, we've got Swarm of Rats. Just 3 life. That's pretty easy. If you get injured by the Swarm of Rats attack, the thing progresses. Oh my gosh. All right, so they're nasty. And who's the other one? Abomination. If your blank has progressed, the Abomination's attack gains 1 energy. Oh my gosh. Oh, he's got 3 energy attack? What the heck? Okay. I mean, Swarm of Rats definitely seems like the quicker one to take out, but these guys are not joking around. All right, I'm a little bit worried here. I don't even know how to deal with all this. I guess I'll do those 2. And then, she can push back the pest. Try it out. All right. So let's go ahead, instead of healing, push that back all the way since they're about to be doing annoying stuff. And then I'm getting 2 attack, and then I have to get all these back. I can't resolve anybody else's stuff. I definitely think I want to kill the Swarm of Rats. The Abomination I don't think I can really handle. Okay. So they're going to activate. I got to decide if I want to use my artifacts. So actually, my thing is not progressed. So he's just going to do 1 regular damage. But then they're going to do 2 damage. So I could use my shield and block it all. Sure. I mean, it's just regular damage. I can always heal it back. Although I'm going to be pushing the pest a lot too. I'll use the shield. So I cancel all their damage, which means that the pest does not advance extra. Because I don't think I can kill this guy. I mean, he just needs so much energy attack. It's crazy. And yeah, I definitely need to recruit some cards that get me energy generation because I have basically nothing. Let's see. For her to do damage, I need to get at least somebody else in here. That's not great. I also want to get the doc. Or maybe not the doc. Maybe I'll do the veteran to push pest back again so that guy's energy attack doesn't happen. And then, okay, I'll do the dock here. All right, that's enough. So they're going to fall off. They're going to go here. That's going to go here. I guess if I'm putting the dock here, then... Well, no. I'm going to use her to do 1 damage. That'll finish off the Swarm of Rats. I'm going to do him to get the heart. That means the only attack I'm suffering is the Abomination's 1 heart attack. Nice. And then he runs away, but the rats get me an energy. That's good because I was so low. All right, so I'm doing another upgrade. Give me something with energy generation. Or don't. My sniper. Or the quartermaster. Yeah, let's go for the quartermaster just because I want to have a bit more flexibility in what I generate. All right, and now I can... Either way will make the pest advance, or I can give 2 crystals to the guy. I mean, my pest is all the way on the left, so that's not worrisome. This one's then going to lead me to another double fight. That was a hard fight, but I'll get to the academy. That would also get me to the academy. I'm assuming, yeah, that'll lead me to the extra rat. Well, I don't really care. Okay, so I'm going to advance my pest 1. That's fine. I got to fight another single guy. All right, who we got now? Sapper. 4 life, 2 regular damage. After Sapper's attack, if the pest is present, all the way on the right, the other enemies advance 1 space. When Sapper flees, destroy 1 of your tokens for using actions. That can't happen. Well, let's see. Should I just go like that, I guess? All right, so they all fall off. Boom, boom. So I'm doing 3 out of the 4 damage of the Sapper and getting all my stuff back. Then the Sapper's attacking me for 2. That part's fine. Okay, and then before he falls off, I'm going to do that because I want to push back Pest again. And I need to do a single point of damage. Let's get the instructor instead of the veteran. That'll do it. All right, so they'll go over there. 1 heart. Get back Pest. He'll go here. Finish off the Sapper. Nice. Oh, and now I love this bonus because it's getting me an extra heart to push back the Pest more effectively. And yeah, let's go there. Oh, I have this upside down, don't I? So yeah, let's put it there. Okay. All right, now I could do an academy. But then I'm going to boost the boss and get a double attack. I'm going to be a wuss and just go down on the easiest track and level up the least. Because I know the video's about to be done, and I don't need to make the hard choices. Oh, I got the miner. Seems like it's got to be the one, right? Yeah, let's get the miner again. I'm still a little gun-shy about spending energy to get another card. Well, you know what? No, I will, because I'm going to get the radio operator who will get me more energy generation. So I will spend my 1 free energy to boost my hand up a bit more. Okay, now I advance pest, 1 from the left, and we fight our last guy before the boss. Who we got? Assistant. 7 life. Okay, but at least we got 3 time. He's only doing 1 damage. On assistant activation, if your pest has progressed, if it's not on the left, discard 1 card in your energy. When he flees, discard 2 cards. So yeah, I think they're just permanently removing them is the best I can figure. But if I can keep chaining together healers to push back the pest, that's not going to do anything. All right, so he's got 7 life. Ooh, but I'm about to do 3 damage automatically. That's very nice. Let's even make it a bit more. We'll put miner there. We'll put second in command here to do some healing, I guess. Or no, let's do veteran here. And then should I do 1 more damage? Or should I do like energy generation? Yeah, sure. Let's do 1 more damage. Okay. So they fall off. We'll get to that in a second. He does nothing. That's 2 damage. And that's 1 healing to avoid the negative effect. And then I'll use Soldier's ability to do 3 more damage. So that's 5 out of 7 already. Oh, and I forgot they were hitting me for 1. There we go. Now, I can't kill the guy, I'm realizing. Well, I could if I put, like, the second in command here, but then I wouldn't be getting my people back. So maybe I'm going to do that to still not trigger their negative effect. And what the hell, let's get a bunch of energy before we go and fight the boss, too. All right, so that's fallen off. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so nothing. 1 damage, we need 1 more. 1 healing and 2 energy. And then I get these cards back. But then he does hit us for 1 damage. And this is the last turn to kill him before he does that automatic effect. All right, so I could automatically kill him with the miner. Or I like getting an energy and another card. He's going to heal me if he wants. They're going to do nothing. Here, let's do like the quartermaster here. And maybe nothing else. We could get more healing going. Why not? All right, so boom, 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 boom. Okay, 1 healing we'll take legitimately. Here we'll do the 1 damage to finish him off. Here we'll take a healing. Oh, sorry, that should have progressed to push that back. And I'm going to do this one, so I get another energy, and I get to draw 2 cards from the reinforcements and keep 1. Microbiologist has more healing. Man, the arms dealer, I just don't like his bottom effect. Yeah, I'm actually going to get another healer to make sure if the boss does anything weird with the pest card that I can deal with it. And, ooh, nice, I get another upgrade. You know, it'd be nice if I got like my scientist and my actual cards upgrading myself, but I get a crystal upgrade. And should I double up? Now let's do that and give me a longer play of cards. Okay, and I'm going to a final reinforcement before I fight the boss. And I got a lot of energy, so let's get somebody extra. Nurse and quartermaster seem great. All right, and here we go. We've got Herbert West, who has 10 life with 1 shield. Each time he's playing 2 cards a turn. And it says you can spend 1 energy per player to remove 2 energy from Herbert West. Now, he doesn't have any because I was really careful as I went. Although I forgot how easy it was to get rid of, so maybe I shouldn't have cared so much. But he's going to be doing 2 cards a turn. All right, so first he'll do Herbert West obtains 1 crystal. Then each player discards 1 character for each one. Okay, discard. Yeah, I wish they had defined discards better. I guess I could have asked. So this one's not saying any energy level. So does it go to energy? Or maybe you just lose it for each crystal Herbert possesses. Okay, so that's not too bad. He's not even going to attack. Oh, yeah, he really isn't going to attack us. He's going to steal 1 of our credit cards. Okay, then what else is he going to do? He's going to get 2 more crystals, and the pest progresses. And then he's going to deal 1 damage for every 2 crystals in his possession, which will only be 3. And then on my turn, I can spend 1 energy and get rid of it. So I just want to keep on generating energy and doing lots of damage. Seems straightforward enough. All right, so this turn, the veteran's going to fall off. I can't do anything else with them. The turn after, the second in command is going to do 3 damage, so that's pretty great. Let's get the soldier go. Well, I guess she would only do 1 damage after their armor because nobody else is attacking this turn. Well, then we can fix that. So let's do 1, 2, 3. Just go ham on him because I'll have a bunch of cards back in a second. All right. So he falls off, gets me everybody back. They advance and get me 1 healing. I guess for now I'll just keep pushing the pest. Well, I mean, I can push it back one. Yeah, so I might as well actually heal. I can let it get a little bit far. Again, I'm doing 4 damage, minus 1 armor is 3. Not a bad start at all. All right, so he's getting 1 crystal, and then I have to discard 1. And I think it's just gone. I don't know, the microbiologist. Again, not sure if I'm understanding that. Okay, he gets 2 more crystals. The pest progresses again, and then he's doing me 1 damage. All right, and what's he going to do next? He's going to get 1 and then deal 1 damage per crystal. That's kind of nasty. Then he's going to deal 2 more, and if he has at least 3 crystals, the thing progresses, but it doesn't get many crystals, so that's not too bad. All right, so they're going to do 3 damage. They're going to do a healing to push back the pest. I mean, let's really try to hammer the damage on in this one round by getting some more going. That's only going to give me 2. And I want to use the soldier the turn she falls off. Maybe I'll put the veteran right here and get a bit more damage. Sure. Okay, so they all fall off. We'll get to that in a second. That gets me 1 healing. That gets me 3 attack. So let's use the healing to push back the pest and not actually heal. Then I'm doing 3 attack plus, where is she? Second in command. There's 3 other cards in the area with her, so that's 6 attack. Minus 1 is 5. All right, okay, he's going to be dead in a second. And then I am going to spend 1 crystal to get rid of 2 of these. I only have 1 crystal left, so maybe I'll stop there. Okay, he's going to get another crystal, and then he's going to do 2 damage to me, and then 2 more damage. But he won't progress the thing in extra time. But that is 4 damage. That would be pretty scary if I wasn't about to murder him. Let's see, what's he going to do? Oh, whoops, I'm sorry. That should be there. So here he's going to do 2 crystals and progress the thing, and then deal 1 energy per 2 crystals in his possession. Good thing that he'll be dead, because that's actually pretty scary. But yeah, I don't even have to act, because the upgraded soldier by herself is going to do 3 damage, minus 1 is 2, and he's already dead. Bye-bye, Herbert. All right, we get to permanently upgrade somebody again. I kind of like the upgraded veteran. Like, it's getting me free attack and defense when he falls off, which I'm going to clearly do a ton. It seems pretty smart. And before we reset our reinforcements, we get to do an academy one. Oh, just 2 healing is pretty nice. Head of security, no. Mystic. Ooh, swap 2 in your active zone to like maybe make them both use stuff again and get a... Yeah, that seems pretty great. No, because I took the wussy way through that through that world, I only added 1 card to the deck. But let's get rid of our last shield and just be completely shieldless. Maybe a terrible strategic decision for the later worlds. I don't know. But that'll be it. That gets us through to Shifters. So thoughts on this one. So I'm going to put aside the fact that like the translation is a little confusing sometimes. Like I'm not entirely sure what they mean by some of the effects. I figured that'll all be worked out in development. But I generally like this one so far. It's got some interesting choices in the combat system. I think the way the bosses work is clearly pretty unique. Now, I did beat both bosses pretty easily, but as I've been frequently noting, I always took the easier path through the stages. So theoretically, I would have been, and I got kind of close to dying for the second boss, if I'd gone through a lot more double fights to get better upgrades and to like even get another permanent rat card, like one of these other nice items, then theoretically things would have been a lot tougher. So you're kind of determining your own difficulty. And I'm guessing that when I get to the later worlds, they send me the boards for them, but not the cards, actually try them out, that, oh my gosh, there's 3 bosses in this one? That's cool. But yeah, I'm guessing that the fact that I'm like making the cowardly choices and not leveling up my deck as much and like my resources as much is would probably hurt me down the line because I wouldn't be as strong to actually deal with stuff. But yeah, so it's a very quick playing game, as you can see. I imagine, I mean, with rules explanation, this entire thing is probably going to be like 40 minutes or less. So you can probably play through all 5 worlds in under 2 hours, would be my guess, or just do like little mini sessions. It's very easy to clean up since you mostly reset stuff after each play. So quick setup, quick playtime. I like all of that. And the enemy kind of like sliding track is not nearly as interesting as the player shifting stuff, but it is kind of cool to sort of time out things and decide who to kill first and all of that. But certainly the name of the game here is the shifting mechanic. And I think it's pretty neat. You know, maybe not like as amazing as they want it to be, but I think it's still a cool mechanic. Now, I was not playing great. I should have used somebody like my scientist to like level up my actions to a crazy extent. Like, hey, look, if I had done that, that would do 4 damage all by itself. That's pretty cool. So, yeah, I think this kind of mechanic is interesting. I love that the second world used a negative thing on your track, so I hope the other worlds have more of that. I think this is like a cool mechanic for kind of like status conditions and cooldowns, as well as the way they're using it for your cards. I think the choices of where to put your cards and when, and if you want to like go a little more tactical and deep with it, the attempt to kind of set up combos for later turns, especially when you have things like that first boss where they can't be hurt for this turn. So hey, let's have them get smackered the next turn. That all seems pretty cool. Now, will the upgrading be interesting long term? It's kind of hard to tell because, as you saw, even though you are making the reinforcement deck better, you're still seeing a lot of the same cards a lot of the time. But it's also a really quick game, so I don't think it's going to bother people too much. Now, just having the same starting reinforcement deck, the same decks for the world, only 2 different player card decks to start with, is it going to have enough variety campaign to campaign? That's really hard for me to say until I've seen the full game. My guess is it won't be amazing, but it also won't be terrible. Like, yes, there will be some sameness if you play again and again. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do for the crowdfunding campaign. I don't know if they'll add more player decks or make the reinforcement deck bigger. That would all be great. That'd be the kind of stuff that I think would give the game more legs. But remains to be seen. By the way, that is Shifters. I'm not sure if I'm going to be posting this before the campaign is live or once it's live. But you can go check out the link either way. It should at least have an early look at the game and see what you think. And a special thank you to our biggest Patreon supporters, J. William F., Pedro Lucas, Nick Skeen, Miles, Wayne Scott, and Steve Wren. We'll see you at the next stop.